Hello, welcome to our Wednesday morning devotional. I want to share and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but one of the funniest one-liners in the Bible. I'll tell you the story first, then I'll share it with you. It was a time when the Israelites had not done well. They'd done, quote, evil in the sight of the Lord again. Over and over they did this. And God had allowed the enemy to take them over, and they had run, and many of them were hiding in mountains and in caves. The story's in Judges chapter 6. And while they were hiding in the mountains and caves, they would come out when the enemy wasn't around, and they would plant food, plant seeds and so forth, and try to raise some crops so they'd have something to eat. And the enemy was so evil that they would come up after the crops started growing, and they'd destroy the crops. And then the Bible says they were greatly impoverished. So God sent an angel to Gideon and said, Gideon, you're a mighty man of valor. I want you to go and lead the children of Israel out of this problem. Well, Gideon was kind of a scaredy cat. And instead of going and leading the people, he wanted some proof. And then God said, well, here's the first thing you want to do. You want to go down and break down the image of Baal, the idol, the false idol. Break down the image of Baal and cut down the groves that are around there. And that's the first thing. You do that. So Gideon took about 10 guys with him and went down at night, because he was afraid, went down at night and destroyed the image of Baal. Knocked it down and so forth. It broke. The next morning, people got up and they saw that, and they said, this is somebody has desecrated the image of Baal. We need to find out who that was. And they asked around and found out it was Gideon. Oh, my word. Well, they went to Gideon's dad and said, send him out here. We're going to kill him because he desecrated the image of Baal. Can you imagine? Now, here's the dad. What's he going to do? The Israelites had been worshiping the false god, and now his own son has gone against that. In his heart, I'm sure he knew he was right. He knew that this was a false god. But his father came up with an interesting saying. He said this, and this is in Judges chapter 6, verse 31. He says, wait a minute. If Baal's a god, why do we have to fight for him? And he says this in 6:31 Judges, let him plead for himself. Isn't that funny? Let that false god plead for himself. Let that idol plead for himself. Well, the idol couldn't talk. The idol couldn't do anything. The idol was fashioned by people, and it made sense. Here, let him take care of himself. The reason I think that's funny is because people are worshiping false gods today. Oh, we may not have an idol of Baal, but we worship wealth, and we worship power, and we worship things that really, in the long run, don't matter much at all. Let me give you a thought or two just to take with you today. I'm thankful that we have a God that doesn't need our help. Now, he enlists us to do his work. He enlists us to witness. He enlists us to tell others about him, but he doesn't need our help. He's in charge of the thunder and lightning. He's in charge of the tornado and hurricane. He's in charge of the waves of the sea. He doesn't need our help. And yet, for Baal, they said, we're going to kill the guy that knocked him down. And his dad said, let him plead for himself. We have a God that doesn't need our help. But we have a God that lets us help. Have you thought about that? He doesn't need our help, but he lets us help. Sort of like a kid helping his dad. They're carrying something big, and the kid helps his dad by grabbing a hold and maybe pushing on it or something. He's not really helping. In fact, might even be hindering a little bit. But dad lets him help so he feels good. And God lets us help. God lets us give out the gospel. Oh, what a wonderful privilege we have. This morning, I just want us to thank God for the privilege of serving him. Thank God that he doesn't need our help. And yet we serve him willingly and lovingly because of what he does for us. We serve him willingly and lovingly because of who he is. He's the creator. He's the all-powerful one. What a great God we serve. We don't have to say, let him plead for himself. We could, because he doesn't need our help. What a joy. One-liner, let the Baal plead for himself. He can't say a word. I'm so thankful we serve a living, true God. Have a wonderful day today.